Today I will be showing you 3 buildings that are important to the Whisperwind universe created by Whisperwind ASMR. And these are 3 buildings which I have recreated within The Sims 4 based off maps that she has made. These 3 buildings that I will be touring are the Whisperwind Tavern, the Whisperwind Library, and also the Manorhouse, which is located in Shadowmoor Forest, which is a key location for the storyline and for a key character. So let's get on with the building tour. So the first building in this in the tour is the Whisperwind Tavern. So from the outside, this is what it looks like. Okay, so we will start on the first floor. So here we have the first floor. We've got on what is on my left, the room with the 2 fridges, the stove, and the 2 sinks. That is the kitchen, where all the food is prepared, and the character that works in the kitchen there is Rosie, who has often given our character like bread, or they've helped prepare food for when we go on our adventures. And so moving on to the main room, there is about 3 round tables with about 2 of the tables having 3 chairs. One of them has 4 chairs, and there's also a square table that is more of a bar sort of setting, so you've got bar stools instead of just chairs. And then we have the actual bar area itself, which this is often the place where our main character is like often sits at the bar and has conversations with the with one of the bar girls who we come to know as Rhea, and she has become very important to our character and even to the whole storyline, which I encourage you to check out Whisperwind ASMR's channel. She has playlists for each part of the story so far. She even has a playlist which has the main videos. So it has the main ones which will bring a person up to speed if they don't have all the time to go through all the little parts of each of the series. Although I do encourage you, if you have the time, to actually go through, to actually watch all of them and such like that, because it is such a good story, and it has gotten, I would say it was one of the key elements that got me through the lockdowns in the first 2 years of this current situation. So it's worth it. So So I remembered. So getting back to the tour, here's the bar area, and they don't quite match, but that was the best I could in the terms. Which often here, Ray will have like bottles of elderberry ale, which is our favourite. And every time we go away, we do take a bottle, but we don't always end up keeping it to drink ourselves. Because something always happens and we either lost it because we've been captured, or we've had to trade it so we don't get injured by a creature. For example, Nob, the goblin, who also has her own channel, which is Whisperwind's second channel. Her. And we have over in the corner, we have a fireplace with two chairs. So in winter, this is a good place for the patrons just to sit and actually trying to keep warm, as there is no such thing as central heating in the Whisperwind universe. And just down south from the stairs, there is a set of the fireplace. There's a set of stairs, because this will then take us upstairs to where there are guest rooms, including our main character's guest room, where we actually live when we actually are in town. So I'll give you an overview of, let me just get this right. This is an overview of the first floor. So there's the kitchen, the bar area, tables to eat, the fireplace, and we have the stairs. And you will notice it is decorated in sort of Tudor style. It's not quite medieval, but I thought Tudor suited it best when I built this. Okay. And here we have the second floor, which has the guest rooms and one shed for everyone, although one guest room with two single beds has an ensuite. So that's their ensuite. There are, so then apart from that, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are, but okay, the key room up here is actually this one, because this is the room where the main character, aka the us as a traveler, it's our home when we are in the kingdom of Maladia. There is although actually we don't, our true origins, they have sort of been, we don't have as much details about our true origins, but we don't know our actual hometown. But we do have a room which is sort of like permanently ours. This would be a room where they would let anyone else sleep in there. And there is a book here on the wall. This book represents the room in which our character slept in. So this is also important when we get to the manor house, because the manor house, even though we don't have a room in there, I marked a room of where we stayed in during that storm. Well, they were in that clip, so what I said. But I will get to that. So, it's simple, but Whisperwind is meant to be a small town, a small village that, if you mention it in places like, we've mentioned it in Eshon, even the royal capital, where we have found ourselves, or even like in Danwood or like some other places. No one knows who Whisperwind is. It's just like, Whisperwind? What's that? So it's a little bit of a, it's a very, very small, as we were saying, straight country town that no one has heard of, but there could be actual magical reasons for that. How it is sort of hidden and sort of not, it's sort of forgotten for a reason. Yeah. But actually, there's I did include, so I have included 3 other double bedrooms. There is a twin room, but there's also a single bed, a room with a single, with their own desk and such, where a solo traveler who just like doesn't need a double bed. But strangely, that actually has that has more room than, say, a double bedroom, a double bedroom, but that's okay. And for the roofing, I just did really simple roofing. So this is being the tavern. Simple. And now, so the next building will be the Whisperwind Library and Resource Center. I will first of all show you the layout. So it's like, this is fairly simple, because we've got a desk for the library staff to sit at. Well, for in this case, Victoria, to sit at for any inquiries and that. And we have a fireplace, of course, to keep it warm. There is a bathroom, but I mean, like, you wouldn't have, this one you wouldn't really have as much. But then there is a room that's just got bookcases, and then in the last room we have there's like a reading area with another fireplace. So yeah. And there's also plenty of trees around this place. So if I put the walls up, this is sort of what it looks like when you enter. So you have, over there you've got the computers, Victoria's desk, and here is a central table just for sitting and discussing. In here we have the toilet. This is where you've got the you've got bookcases. So we've just gone through a tray, because like, it doesn't show it on the overhead view, but if you go through this arch, here's the written area, but if I pull back a bit, you'll notice it's actually on a platform. So you have a little bit of difference when it comes to leveling. So you've got 2 chairs right by the window, close to the fireplace, and also 2 so this is like a really short one. Oh, and actually, this is the view from if you're watching somebody walk into the library. with Victoria's desk, and there. But also, actually, something that can happen here would be for the children of the town. No, you don't really know, but you know, for any of the children, she can sit in one of these chairs, and they can sit on this rug on the ground and listen. As I'm not sure how many of them are actually how many of them can actually read. So yeah, it's like if you look at it from up here, you can't tell there's a platform. As you get closer, there's this, you can tell it is there. So now we come to the third building, which is the manor house. Okay, so before we go into the rooms or any more details, let's just go from the top to the bottom. There's about yes, 3 floors. So here we have the second floor, and as you can see, it is split into areas. So we have, here is a sort of a blue suite, I would call it, because you have sort of a bedroom area. It's not a whole closed, so you wouldn't want that. That has a fireplace, a bedroom, a bathroom. So it's sort of like similar. They're all similar to each of the suites, especially the brown and the purple, which are actually I tried to mirror them. I tried to mirror them, and I've also done different levels. So actually, for all the beds, they are all on platforms. So we have blue is on a platform. The brown, yeah, so like the brown guest room. This guest room we will talk about. The brown suite has its own platform, along with the desk is on its own platform. And then on the other side, you've got the purple, which has a desk with its own platform. The bed, which is a 4-person bed, should actually be a bit over. I can grab it. That's better. Bathroom, piano, a fireplace with a couch and a really large rug, bookcase. So it's not the and also a chess table, which is the same thing, has the same objects. The bookcase, the piano, which is by itself 3,600 to mine, so I'm like, it's one of the richer ones there. We have the chess table, a desk, fireplace. So those ones are identical except for color, and they're also in their own hallway, which is kind of like the rest of them. On the other side of the house, you have the Blaze Suite, which there's a character we meet on during the Eshon. During the Eshon adventure, the main character gets lost trying. Hang on. We were trying to get home, I think. So we got, and we didn't know it at the time, but we ended up in Shadowmoor Forest, which later on would become we would be returning there and returning to this house for a key object. Like a year apart, those adventures were released. But anyway, so I sort of see the Blazewood as Calypso's, so because you can see out the window stuff like that. And she also has 4 easels in case she wants to have 4 paintings on the go. She has a nice spacious blue bathroom, a nice desk, a couch with a fireplace of course needed, and she also has a mirror where she can do her makeup and stuff like that, and also a really nice bookcase. And that suite is directly off the main square hallway, like the landing off is off the landing, which is a little bit empty, but with a really huge circle rug. Also, which is off this rug, this landing, are 2 bathrooms that I did try to mirror them, but I ended up doing them exactly the same layout. So if say you and your friend, or Sims in this household, and you both need to use the bathroom, there's 2 separate bathrooms that be shared for everyone. And down a little bit more of a hallway, we have the storage area, which would be full of linens and anything that they need, really. And okay, so down here in this hallway, there are 4 rooms. So we have a study, which has a fireplace, 2 bookcases, 2 desks, and 4 easels, which that wall looks sort of symmetrical. And I've also put it in red, so with ironically, I think the bats on it. Oh no, that might be the flower pattern. But the wallpaper is from Vampires game pack. A lot of these actual wallpapers are. And next to it is sort of a city room. Kind of thought I'd shape it would be weird for a bed, and there was only a certain amount of bedrooms, as I was told by Whisperwind case Max. I asked, and I needed to know so I could build the upper floors. And here we come to 2 mirrored rooms. As you can see down here, and if we look to the left and the right, they look layout wise identical. Both beds on a platform, one of them in bit of a darker grey colour, with the fireplace, actually I think that might be the lavender, with a bit of a colour for the couch, a desk, a wardrobe, and there is this black and white one. But if you'll recall what I said about a certain room in the tavern, and you notice a certain book detail, this is the book. So this denotes that on that night where we got so lost and so soaked through that we ended up finding this. We found this mansion, and we managed to convince the owner's daughter, who turned out Calypso, and the owner, who turns out the name has become really important to the storyline, as we might need to actually defeat the person who owns this house, who is named Lord Calamus, which for the longest time I kept on forgetting his name, but that's okay. It's going to come up in the stories. There's a long way to go in the story as it is. So yeah, this is the room Calypso put us in and locked us in so nothing would happen, which turns out to be a really good idea. It was a good idea because we discovered there are other people in the mansion that weren't so nice. But if you go through all the playlists to do that relate to the story, you will eventually come up with a reason you will come up upon what I'm actually talking about without telling you any details. Yeah. We also have on the access via the landing, actually via 2 doors per cemetery, because it actually looks nice and it's really good. We have an area where the servants, because the owner, he's rich and I don't know, potentially immortal, who has lived a very long life. Let's just say, shall we say? But this is like they have servants, and this is where they would actually hang out some of the washing, which is actually kind of a slog because of where I put the laundry in the basement. So I do realize there is a design flaw in here. I think it's okay. So, moving on to the first floor, which you'll see has the same outer constraint to this one. Oh, wait, I might actually show you when I can change the angle a bit. Get it. My mouse is not behaving as it should be. Let's just go down this hallway, out to the landing, which actually, to get to the studying in those 2 guest rooms, there's no closed door, just an archway. This is what it looks like when you walk in. So you've got the easels on the left, along with the bookcase, and also the vanity mirror. And you can see that this platform actually is a bit taller than the one that's in the Whisperwind library, because it actually requires stairs to go up, whereas the one in the Whisperwind library, it's lower, so you don't need the external steps to go up it. And so I've used a nice sort of blue here. It's like sort of shimmers and moves with it. And you've got like these great, if this was, like, you'd have to imagine this is like, if this wasn't, on an island, you wouldn't have these views, you'd have the forest, depending on how tall the trees are. But it is a really nice view. This is the overview. We have a study with a certain, on the plans I followed, there actually wasn't a way to get down to part of the basement. So I've had to actually put in this set of stairs. But you are able to lock this door, so you can't. So only a certain thing can access it. Sort of the way I imagined it was. There's this rug here that I'm sort of. It's sort of representing sort of like a summoning circle that if you have the same one directly underneath it or to another part of the basement, you could sort of teleport there using that, and no one, and you wouldn't need like physical stairs. But since Sims need actual stairs to go down, I put them in. So next to this study is actually this gigantic living room. And I mean, this would be a ballroom compared to many living rooms I've been in. Like, you've got towards the end of the room there, it's a fireplace with ottomans, chairs, 2 chairs, a couch, a really nice circular hexagonal, a really nice coffee table. We have here 3 bookcases in a row. And there's another smaller area with 3 taller chairs with another coffee table, which I had thought I might actually replace that with the seance table, maybe, because that area screams for the seance table. And just opposite that on the red rug is another grand piano. So it's like there's 2 upstairs. There's also 2 downstairs. So these people are rich to have 4 grand pianos. Rich. And here from the main foyer area is sort of a hallway that has, I don't know exactly who would stay in these rooms. Like, I'm not sure. Well, I can't say particularly because it's not servants. Because the servants have their own sort of quarters down in the basement. And they don't, and they are worse than these rooms. And this place has a lot of servants, which kind of shows how, it kind of actually shows that they have so many they don't. I can't keep track of them all because that's how we snuck in here. And they believed us. But I mean, like, because of our race, I'd potentially do a lot. So you've got like a really simple, that's a really simple layout from some basic furniture. And then there's a small table, a chair, and a bed. No beds or table because I wasn't in the plan. And this is an odd-shaped room, but I made it work. So next to those 3, that area with the 3 strange little rooms, we have the dining room, which, okay, it's smaller than the living room, but I don't think they needed a really big grand hall, seeing as, look, Calamus really doesn't And he doesn't really do hospitality or entertain people. He's often away on business trips and brings back so many artifacts. So having a smaller dining room made more sense. And like, it's still grand because you saw what the wallpaper looks so beautiful. The fireplace and a tapestry. And I'm like, that could not be cheap to make. Which is access straight off the fire. And actually, to get into the living room, there are two arches. Because there wasn't a one large arch, I did two smaller ones, but like fancier ones. So I did a simple arch to go to that back area, and so to warm up the foyer area, even though you can see it is massive, there is a fireplace, but I kind of doubt it warms up the whole foyer. There are double stairs up to the second floor where we just were. This rug I've resized up. That is massive. No, it's not exactly even, but there's also gargoyle statues. So you get like intimidated when you first come in here. Alright, and this part here is the part that I intend to change into the rounded ones, which is also going to affect the storeroom a little bit. But I will come to that but also means, but I would like to keep, I will figure that out, because I also want to keep this coat of arms I stuck on the outside. So I'd like to do that. I just realized I had grid on. I use that to everything. Wait, okay, and so to the right of the foyer, sort of like a medium-sized living room, all decked out in purple, and the wallpaper and the wall and the flooring are also from the Vampire's game pack. I used quite a lot of it in this one. We have our fourth grand piano of the house. So there is a lot. Another circular rug with two of those same chairs. I'm here with a fireplace to warm the room. And then with the view for the window, we have a wing armchair with a lounge, a coffee side table, and another chair, a desk, and this time a rocking chair, which it seems can actually knit in, and toddlers can play in. And this is also off its own hallway. And the other room that's connected to this hallway is the kitchen, which, as you can see, is very bare and large. But the main thing about this one is the kitchen is actually where the servants access their section of the basement, because the basement is in two sections. So we're going in here, and you can, just by looking at this, you can clearly see there is a divide of texture-wise and of how it's laid out. Like, you've got wood for the servants and stone for the other part of the basement where you probably, I don't know, experimentation, crafting, and here. So first of all, I will go through the servant area. Okay, so here we have the storeroom, which, if I had, which in the version of the mod, I actually have more things up on those pillars. But this would be where they would store their food, which, yes, it's not really hygienic. That's what they did many times. You notice there is a corner here that has a door and a ladder, which actually leads to the outside world. This is sort of key to our adventure for us to getting back into the house. And we sort of find that out via a friend who, well, sort of an annoyance turned friend, shall we say, as we lost a certain object to this friend and then realized, oh, we need it, and turns out they'd actually given it to Lord Calamus, as it's sort of their role to find those things for Lord Calamus. Hey, we got in the house, we managed to get the object back and alive, I think. Yeah. Yeah. There is another set of stairs here, which leads to an underground garden, which wasn't, in the original plans, it wasn't there. But I decided to put it in because it would just be another layer to the storeroom. And I could sort of imagine and make it like the gnomes, and it's like the gnomes of the world. They live in an underground city, so they found a way to light up their underground city and to grow food. So I could imagine that Lord Calamus might have gone there when humans were a little bit more accepted. So, he could have had found technology to let that technology to be able to have an underground garden. But off that through the archway, there's sort of here we've got 4 arches. So to the archway on the left, we have the laundry. So we have 2 hampers and 5 wash tubs to do the washing. I do admit that my design has a bit of a flaw, because to hang out the washing, the servants kind of have to make sure it's not dripping too much, and because they've got to go up to the 2nd floor and go out to that area, which, as they are in a forest that actually overlooks the river, so no one says they've really got privacy, so the clothes aren't going to be stolen or taken by anybody or seen by anyone. But they do have to go through the house to get to it, so that's a slight design flaw. And on the right, that actually is a door, we have a bathroom, which basic, but I mean for servants that's pretty good. and then through the arch we have, I wouldn't quite call them solo rooms. I'd call them more cells. Like, you go like, or you could even go as far to say horse stable, because there's no closure, so you can hear what's happening in that whole area, and it creates a storage of things. And you have, so these are the cells the servants live in, and as you can see, they are bare, horribly bare. But I mean, they have a constant rotation of servants, so it's not like one person is stuck living in that sort of what, like, their entire lives. I mean, you know, it's not gonna happen. Especially with the raid, and potentially they might be slightly afraid of Calypso, but we haven't quite gotten to. We know there might be something supernatural with Calypso. We've been told she has abilities, but they've not been unlocked yet. So there is that. So we have, so underneath there is, as I said before, this is the underground garden I was talking about. And this is in sections already, how I designed this. So we have the landing, really simple. And down here we have candles, which work off the grid. Don't add as much light, so you've got to have more of them. So you have this section here, which is actually dragon fruit, which when planted in a large amount brings in so much money. Amazing. And then next to it we have blackberries that bring in, they're one of the more expensive ones to actually plant, but they do bring in, if you combine blackberries and dragon fruit, you're set. But I mean, it is harder to get dragon fruit to get it from all of the different plants you gotta slice together and work around, whereas I just get it straight from, I'm a cheater, so I will find it through debug. So so next to the blackberries we have our fruit trees. Like we have so here we have a row of, so here we have 3 cherry trees. We have apple trees, pomegranates, pears. Pear. Okay, so that's pears. This is lemons. And here we have pomegranates. I think and these are actually avocados. So that's 3. Yes, so we have 3 avocado trees that yet to be planted. And then down here we have just all the rest of the vegetables that they could live off and be self-sufficient. So I have them, so I have flowers together in rows. And then here I have fruit. I have sort of fruit, so like strawberry, raspberry, grape. So the Sims 4 has a berry called choco berry. So it's like chocolate, but it's meant to be healthier. Blueberry, and even pineapple, which I know can be controversial if people don't like it on burgers or pineapple or on pizza. But I am someone that I do love it on pizza. Then the remaining rows we have vegetables. And we also and the one right next to the wall we have is herbs. Basil and sage. Parsley. So this would be what they would live off instead of like having to go to the market, because they are very. I can't imagine this household would want to go beanie people, but anyway. Okay, now let's move on to the other part of the basement. I was about to say another word, but wrong. Okay, so here we have the stairs that I mentioned earlier from that study, which lead down into a really large cavernous area with 2 fireplaces. It's supposed to be a throne area, but with this non-CC version, I wasn't able to put that in, because I did actually have one version. I do have a version which has this area sort of closed off a bit, so it's like more of a hallway, and I have done more platforms to make it actually like an actual throne. Here we don't. This version doesn't have it. And so we've got benches on the side, another fireplace, so you're lit from both ends. There is the gargoyle statues again. Lots of candles. And okay, so from the row of gargoyles, there's 2 archways that go into this area of like crafting and experimentation with book and such. So tables for things, barrels to store it in, all the bookcases to look up things. And Calamus he's not a good character, let's just say that. And so these look even barer than the servant cells. So yeah, I'm pretty sure him or another family member does some experimentation and such. On the original plan, this square was sort of a pit with spikes. It wasn't really doable in the game. But I did another version that if you close that off and you have someone in there, you can do a classic Sims 4 death that every Sim has done at least once in their life. You just have to have a complete fence around it, or they can actually get out of it. But different from Sims 1. Okay. And so through the other doorway in the giant cavernous reception area, we have sort of a magic room with sort of an altar that is actually sized up, familiar up from Realm of Magic. And this circle here, at least in my mind, corresponds to this circle here. So I was talking earlier about my theory of like teleportation. So you could activate this circle and end up down here in a magic room. So if you were doing rituals and stuff, so sort of like stuff you want, things you want hidden from people. This is that, yeah. And so you've got like chests, like even I'm not sure what I there was a bed here in the mine, so I put a bed here. I'm not entirely sure what that is about. This book would be like crafting, and that's also what a mod actually uses that object as a book of bestowing titles. And this one has a different textured floor, and so it's like stone walls, or like stone arches, crates like that. And I think those ones go, yeah, those ones actually go down by one, and they and each of them have actually a gate which you can go in, but you gotta lock. You can lock. I'm like, to be honest, you could actually just could get out of those pretty actually easy. Yeah, so you could get out of those really easily. So that's sort of about it for all the floors. So it's 3 like 4 floors. So you have the underground garden, the basement, Splendid 2, first floor, and then ground floor. And so the way I did the roofing sort of made it look like a bit of a castle, which it's gonna be interesting of how I actually recreate that. So I think that's about it for the tour. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour. If you have, please like this stream, and when it comes out, and when it's just a regular video, please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe, and also click the notification bell once you have subscribed so you don't miss any future videos. And last of all, thank you to Whisperwind ASMR for creating such an amazing universe, such an amazing storyline that has kept, I'm sure, many of us sane throughout sane throughout 2022. Actually, ever since like 2020. So, thank you, Whisperwind ASMR. So, yeah, actually, oh, and if there is anything else you'd like me to do in The Sims, like build a house, recreate a family, please put it in the comments below, because I will read them. And I will see if I can do them. And I mean, I really do look forward to your comments. So please do that. And I will see you next time.